So I just finished watching the video, the reference video, and I noticed two things. That in some of the shots the head actually moves, and also that the arms are broken into three different places. So I want to combine this model first. I want to select my two halves, go to Mesh, Combine, and then go to Edit Mesh, and Merge. The reason why I want to merge is because when you combine, even though when you select it, it shows one shape, if you actually grab the vertex here and then move it around, you're gonna see that it's still two separate pieces, and I don't want that. So change the threshold to 0.00101 and apply, and let's see if it worked. Yes. I'm gonna get rid of this edge in the middle, and I want to move my shape back. Well, before I move it back, I want to separate the body from the head. I'm gonna make two of these shapes. I want to see where the beard finishes off. It's just a reference point to know where I'm gonna cut the head. So I get my body, go to my split polygon tool, edit mesh, split polygon tool. Just get it off my toolbar. I'm gonna start here. Cut it right around the middle of the beard. Turn on my constraint edges and fix it a little bit. To give it a nice shape. I want to do the same thing for the body, but instead of cutting it down like this, I'm gonna go the other way. So split polygon tool, turn off constraint to edges so that I can cut inside my shape. Turn it back on so that I can finish my cut. And for this first shape, I only want to keep the head. And for the second shape, I only want to keep the body. Let's move it back into place. There. Let's move the head back into place also. Let's get rid of this reference beard. Before I had my image, I want to split the arm into three places so that when I rig it, I can have movement on the elbow and on the hand. So I'm gonna make 3 copies of the arm. The first one, I'm just gonna keep the arm. So I'll get my split polygon tool again. And cut it. What you're gonna notice here is that I'm not gonna be able to finish my cut unless I constrain to edge again. And I'm not sure why they have the tool working like that on this new Maya. I like it a lot better the way it was working before. For the second shape, I want the forearm. So let's cut the shape for the forearm. Turn off my constraint to edges. Turn it back on so that I can finish my cut. The cut at the bottom of the arm. Turn it off. Oops. Turn it on. Turn it off. And the last shape here is the one for the arm. So let's get rid of this bottom shape, because in this shape I just want the top. Over here I just need the forearm, and on this last shape only thing that I need is my hand. Let's move it back in place. Center pivot, move it, center pivot, just place it. Another thing that I don't want here is that when I rotate my arm, what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna get this little spike out here, and I don't want to. I want it to be nice and smooth. So let's round this off. And hopefully we have enough vertex to make a nice shape. This is good enough. Let's move it back in a little bit more. Up. I want to move my pivot roughly where it's going to rotate, and so if I move it, I like this. See, it doesn't have that little spike that we had before. I want to place this right in the center. I want to test that, move my pivot, rotate it, and this is fine. And finally for my hand, rotate somewhere in the middle, in between the forearm and the hand. And I like this. Let's duplicate this to the other side. So duplicate it. Get my channel box, put a -1. Place it. Duplicate it. And kill the X to -1. Place it. And place it. I went ahead of my image plane so that I can start putting everything together. Well, actually, let me show it and then move it to the side so that I can see what's going on. So the shape farthest back is probably the shoulders. So I'm gonna move these back like this. The arms, if you look at some video, when they move, they rotate over the body. So this is fine. I want to make sure that there's not a lot of spacing in between all of this. So I'm gonna start moving everything back. Also, the head is going to be moved forward a little bit over the body. Let's move the face, or the features of the face, and move them back as close as you can to the head. Right there. I love the little details. I want to go to my side, get them as close as possible to the body. Move it back, just move it a little bit forward. This I should have just made one piece. So let's combine it. Mesh, combine, edit mesh, merge. Did it merge it? Probably not. Snap it. Let's try one more time. Edit mesh, merge. Let me test it. There it is. I want to get rid of this edge in the middle. I want to merge these two shapes. You can see that I have a lot of clutter right now and I can't see it. So I want to select these two just so that I can see what I'm doing. Select both sides. Mesh, combine. It disappeared because when it combines the object, it gives it a different name, and the isolate select does not recognize it. So I want to click back and mesh combine, or edit mesh merge. I want to see if it worked. It's working. Delete this edge. Center pivot. Move it back. I want to check my image plane to see the placement on this little fur thing. Right around there. Again, this shape, mesh, combine, edit mesh, merge, delete the edge in the middle. Start putting some color so that we can differentiate between shapes. So, window, rendering editors, hypershade. Let me delete unused edit. Delete unused. Just to clean up my materials. For some reason I have two Lamberts there. So I want to make my red Lambert to color the body parts. I'll start by naming it red Lambert. underscore Lambert, and let's make it red. I want to select all the pieces that are red. Body, head, arms. Most everything on this is red. Well, most of it. Have an extra hand there. Don't need it. I want a black Lambert. Assign color to the hands. A black Lambert for the hooves and for the fur, for the beard. So Lambert. Black Lambert. Let's assign it. I need to finish my skull also. I'm going to select everything that's black. It's going to be easier to select all of this if I go into wireframe mode. So select all the shapes that are black. And assign material to selection. I want to make a blue and a yellow Lambert. So Lambert, let's make this one blue. It's a little bit duller. Something like that. I'm going to make a white Lambert for my skull. White Lambert. I want to finish modeling my skull also. Let's make it a little bit wider. I feel like I'm missing something here. Oh, this fur thing goes a little bit more towards the front. There you go. Let's color the belly button. Oh, my yellow Lambert for the eyes and the horns. Let's assign the black Lambert to the eyes. I like it. It's looking nice. I don't want the shapes to overlap here, so I want to move the hands a little bit more towards the front. I think everything else is working here. This is too far apart. I want to move it back a little bit. Let me go to my side view just to see the spacing in between everything. I want to start putting everything as tight as possible. If you want, you can go into front and side view so that you know what you're moving. But regardless, all of this has to be closer together. I don't even know what I'm moving, but like I said, it just has to go closer together. Cancel. Go back to perspective. Let's move this back a little bit because you can see that there's overlapping going in between the lines and my body. So move this back. And I probably want to combine all of these outlines. Let's combine the belly button in there. Let's go to mesh, combine, so that is one shape, center pivot. Let's delete the history. All my shortcuts here, so delete history. Freeze transformations. Let me see what else. Oh, let's finish that little skull. Back to my front view. Duplicate this circle. Scale it. It's behind my image plane for some reason. Move it more towards the front. Scale it. Shape it. Rotate it. Let's get it as close as possible to the picture. Oops, duplicate it to the other side. Rotate it. Oh, this looks like a circle, but I don't think it's a circle. It's more of a, should be more of a triangle. So let's make it real quick. I want to make the mouth with those teeth. Create polygon tool. And all I'm doing right now is just finishing up my model, making sure that everything is nice the way I want it. And probably just duplicate this. Change it up a little bit. Get a little bit straighter. Again, I don't want them to be the same. I want like a little bit of variation in this thing. Nice. Select everything so that I can assign my color. Oh, I forgot these little cracks. Create polygon tool. I'm not sure if there's a zigzag going there, but it kind of looks like there is. Like the other one. Let's combine all of this so that it's one shape. Mesh, combine, Center pivot. Let's move it into place. Doesn't quite fit. Let's make this wider. Let's move right there. And I'll select my faces because it's not centered. Can move this thing on top a little bit in too. And there it is. Again, I want to go back and check my spacing one more time to see that everything is nicely spaced, so that later on when I attach everything to joints, I don't have parts way out here. When it's hard to tell on your front view, all of the animation that you're going to do here is going to be on your front view, but you want to make sure on your perspective view that things are not too far apart. Like this, see? Select faces, move them back so they're just right ahead of the skull. And I was thinking that I thought that I was going to have to go into the UV mapping, but it's not necessary. And you can if you want to. Let's check what the UVs look like for this model right now. So I want to select everything, window, UV texture editor. And it's a big mess, but like I said, it doesn't matter. If you want to project a UV map on your C axis just to clean everything up, you can do that. So create UVs, planar mapping option box, and I want it on my C axis. Apply, and look at how nice and clean it does it. It says this is a duplicate. I think an instance. It's showing the same shape for both of these, but I can fix it. Select shell. You don't have to. I think I'm just wasting time. I'll just do it for this, and I'll move on to something else. Move it into place, just in case you guys want to do it. Alright, yeah. Select shell. Where's the one for this side? UV. Select shell. Flip it, move it. And there it is. I mean, like I said, we don't even need to go through this because everything is flat color. It's very basic. There's no need to have any UVs on this, unless you're going to paint inside of the polygon, but I'm not. The next thing that you want to do after this is model the rest of the facial features and the other arms, if you're gonna change legs, you want to start modeling all of that right now. So what I would do is the face right now is the most important part, is what changes the most. So I would import a couple of more image planes and start modeling over them. Let me save this. I'll save it as Satan 3A. Satan 3 underscore A. You can see that I already have some other files in there. Let me open up what I have after this. Satan 4. And so what I have on this file, because I don't want to go through the modeling of everything here, is pretty much just references of different arms, because they're gonna change later on. For example, if this arm this arm turns into this arm so that he can move it up, then the different facial expressions, I already modeled them as the same basic process, where I just got my image plane and started tracing around it. I looked for different mouths, different arms, different expressions. The beard stays pretty constant most of the time. I think there's only one where it varies, where it changes shape, which is on this Britney one. I added this one. I'm gonna do something cool with this. I'm gonna add an attribute to where you can turn on the Britney Spears wig and outfit. The outfit might be in my other file. Oh no, it's here. So if I get rid of this, let me hide this. There's my Britney outfit. There's all my other mouths that I modeled. And again, I just don't want to show you how I modeled everything here, because it's going to take a long time. And it's every single time is the same process. You just get your image plane and trace to your shape. So at this point I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna get all of this nice and neat for my character setup, to start my character setup.